What's up guys, Boxout here, and today I'm doing something a little different. I'm going to be showing you how I made a beat like Aries. So if you don't know Aries, he is a producer and singer, songwriter. He does everything. He does kind of like emo, alternative, trap, pop, whatever you want to call it. It's really good. I'll link him down below. But I made a beat like one of his songs. Specifically, it sounds, especially you'll see in a second, like Santa Monica, one of his most famous songs off of his new EP. You should check that out too. So I started with a piano and just these basic chords here, just to give it a bass layer. Yeah, pretty simple. And then I added this wavy-ish piano. It's got this setting. It's called a 100-year-old piano. I forgot where I found it, but it's really cool. It's got this honky tonk setting and adds a really cool effect to the whole piano. And now together. Makes the sound a little fuller. And after that, I decided to give some love to the low end. I have this guitar pluck that's very spacey and reverby. And I added to that a filler guitar sample that I found on Splice. Every sound I use here is either from Splice or something I made myself. I tend not to like buy sample packs and that kind of thing too often, but here's how the filler sounds. Really gritty and kind of grimy, and those two together sound actually really good. And those make up the main like bass part of the song that you hear throughout. All together they sound pretty good. Yeah, so up next we're going to move on to the drums. The kick I used is from a Medicine Splice pack. Use it in pretty much everything. Super great. It's super crunchy and hits pretty hard. Up next is the snare, which is really just a clap and like a little top thing. I don't use any hard snares in this song. Aries doesn't tend to do stuff like that. So together, the kick and snare sound like this. And then on top of the kick, I put a crash cymbal. That adds a little bit of high end to the kicks and makes it sound a little more full. And the hi-hats are really where I went all out on this track. I usually just put them in like a drum sampler like this and just have them all one note, but this time I put it in a MIDI sampler and added different like kind of like a melody to the hi-hats in general, along with the different syncopation rates of. I actually use an arpeggiator on mine because it makes it easier. You don't have to draw out all the little notes for the hi-hats, so I think it sounds pretty good. And now the beefiest part of the drums is the sub. The sub is pretty heavy. I don't have any of the super professional plugins, so I just added a saturator and some compression and the glue compressor, of course, which side chains it to the kick so they don't fight each other too much in the mix, but I think the sub is pretty good. And just to layer it off, give a little bit of some accents onto it, I have this percussion thing here, which is kind of interesting. It's kind of like what is it called? It's called a timbal. I got it from some Splice pack, but it's a You'll hear it in when I play it in a second, but it's just a little bit of percussion, and then I have these interesting little perks just hidden throughout. Those are the two that I used, I think. The rest of these are just, I was just messing around, but all together the drums sound like this. Yeah, so the drums are a big component of the song, mostly because it takes up most of the tracks, and it kind of drives the entire song together. All together, the main chords and melody and the drums, they sound like this. I also have this little melody guitar filler that I got from Splice. J-Views is amazing. You should check out his sample packs on Splice too. I use this melody to like give a fuller sound and a little bit of harmony to the full track in some parts where I feel like it needs it. And now for my favorite part of the song, the lead. The story of how I came across this lead, actually I found a sample that is super cool sounding, but I didn't really like the melody too much. Here's the original sample. Yeah, so I didn't really like that melody too much. It's very Aries sounding. It kind of inspired this entire track, but I decided to resample it and kind of make it my own, and I added a lot of glide. I think it sounds really cool. And then to just round it out a little bit, I gave it a higher octave. And those are pretty much all the parts of the song, aside from the white noise effects and everything that I put in it. So altogether, the main part of the song sounds like this. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. I will play part of the full mix. Let me know down below if you want me to actually write lyrics to the song or put it out as a full track, because I'm really into this beat. It's not completely finished. It's not a completely finished song yet. So I'll let you hear the song, and I'll see you guys later.